Well, a short walk down a steep ramp has given late-night host and mainstream media miles of material to attack President Trump. The president walking cautiously down a ramp after giving a graduation speech at West Point Saturday, and it caused all kinds of speculation and criticism. Look at a few of these headlines. In the New York Times, it reads, "Trump's halting walk down ramp raises new health questions." And CNN reads, "Trump isn't aging well." But conservative columnist Henry Olsen says Rampgate has nothing to do with Trump's health. It has everything to do with media bias. Well, is this just another case of media bias? Joining us is award-winning journalist and political and economic commentator Trish Regan. Trish, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Lyndsay, Sean, good to see you guys.
Trish, there's days in which I don't think I could guess how much worse it could get. I mean, CNN brought on Dr. Sanjay Gupta to analyze the president's health based on a walk down a ramp. And let's be honest, I mean, the president, it seems like, was making sure they didn't trip because he knew how they would react if something went wrong. The lengths to which these guys go continues to amaze me.
Let me just say, I felt for him walking down that ramp, right? I felt for him because I'm sure his leather soles were pretty slippery, and you look at the incline on that thing, and that could have been a disaster. There was no railing. I get it, but for them to then interpret that, Sean and Lyndsay, as though somehow he's sick because he slowed down to walk down a ramp. I mean, that is pretty crazy stuff in and of itself. But this is who they are, right? He's damned if he does. He's damned if he doesn't. He's never going to catch a break. I guess at some point he just sort of has to accept that. I think he has in many ways accepted that. This is who they are. And yeah, they'll sit there and debate his health because of how fast or slow he's walking down a steep ramp. He was pretty fine once he got on normal ground, by the way, after.
That's right.
Yeah. If you watch it to the end, you can see he's almost relieved when he gets off. He kind of almost hops off. He's like, whew, made that.
I would be too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to show you something else. Comparing two different headlines. We talk about headlines a lot and how people just read headlines, but I want to pull these up for you. They're both on the exact same topic. A headline from Fox News app and one from CNN app showing Muhammad Aubrey's mom and her comments on the president. First one from Fox News says Aubrey's mother says president's very compassionate, reacts to executive order. The CNN one says mother of Muhammad Aubrey, Trump's executive order doesn't go far enough. If you just read these two headlines, you would get two completely different stories here. I also think the really interesting thing about the CNN one, you'd have no idea that President Trump even met with his mother. It just makes you think that maybe she's speaking out. And how important is it, Trish, that people actually dig in and read these stories because clearly they're framing by these headlines.
There is such tremendous bias. The idea that somehow you take your opinion and you leave it on the coat rack when you walk into the newsroom, those days are clearly gone. I don't know if they frankly ever existed because let's face it, we're all human beings and we all have certain, I think, inherent views on things, whether we want to admit it or not. And CNN has made it very clear where their stance is, right? And they've almost in some ways become an arm of the Democrat Party. I mean, that's what it feels like. And so as a journalist, I look at it and say, wow, I mean, the bias is so obvious. I think this particular case in point is a really good one to highlight because he went on a limb in some ways, meeting with those families and also, saying he was going to come down with this executive order for reform within the police departments. There are, members of his base that may not like that, but he did this because he felt it was right. But he's never going to get any credit from it or for it from the left. No, that's just the reality.
Yeah, but it's just, it continues. I mean, I remember a few years ago, probably 10 years ago now, we're talking about Terry Schiavo, and the media went nuts because Dr. Bill Frist tried to analyze her from a TV report, and they were saying how ridiculous this is. And then you have Sanjay Gupta there, literally, as you were saying, Trish, try to analyze this guy by his walk down a ramp. And I don't even care how steep it is, but the bottom line is that he wanted to be careful. I mean, it's amazing the lengths to which they continue to go. And it's every week there seems to be another blatant example of this. So
yeah, I think they hate him. I think that's the reality.
I don't think. I think I know.
But think about it. I mean, then you're somehow, you see it as your your moral obligation, right, to try and change who is the president of the United States. And so I think that they've really taken this on with so much gusto in a way that is not healthy, is not right, is not good for society. Any kind of, balance that they might have even tried to present is completely out the window. And they feel okay with that. They're completely empowered to do that. They think it's the right thing.
Right. Well, I guarantee you by the next time we have you on, we'll be having a whole new example of something else to talk about. So thanks for being here today.
Great to see you guys. Thanks.
Good to see you.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to newsmaxtv.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.